Yeah, man, what's up? It's John from Dowie Farm. Here I am. This is my next video here, and this kind of like we're doing a bunch of stuff. And yeah, just to want to update on progress. It's tough to run everything and still add these build these racks, but we're getting there. Here we go. Let's take a look. See how bright that is. Okay, that's good. So it looks like every other rack we have, right? But it's a little different. I'm always making some tweak when I build another one, right? And I think I'm getting there. Of course, I just built this one. I had some crops that needed to go to a rack, and I threw them on there. And then I realized, as I was testing my new pumps out, that I forgot to level the stupid thing. But it still worked. So to water those beets that are looking okay, I think I got bad seed. I was having good luck with beets, and now I'm having bad luck with beets, and there's nothing different but the seed. So that's telling me seeds. Anyhow, so some differences are. We can compare these two. Well, this is our first rack that I ever built. This hung out in our living room for a while. And I can't remember. This is when I figured out you need 52-inch shelves to get two 2x8 flood tables on there and have a little bit of overhang. But the first rack I bought, I went, let me go as cheap as I can. We try to save a little money. That's always a mistake. So these are, I think, 12-inch shelves. I thought that'd be good. But what happens is you get more sag on these when they fill, or even when they just have heavier crops in them. And, like the end, if you don't have this position just right, will start to sag down on you. And that's no good. You don't want the cooling in the end or the drying in some spot. So then the next iteration, as far as shelves goes, I went with this one. And this one is 16, okay. Okay, great. That worked pretty good. I still get a little bit of sag on the end, but it worked pretty good. But you still have problems, so one of the biggest problems here is you can't pull a tray through there. A 10-inch tray coming through a 12-inch slot doesn't work out with microgreens because they always hang over the side. So on this one with 16, you can pull that through pretty good. But sometimes you blast it on the side. Well, with this one, they had, I want to say these are 24. Yeah, so 8, 16, they're 20, 22 or 24, I can't remember. I think they're 24. So now we've got plenty of room between the bars, right? So no issues there, and it gives you extra support on the rack. Obviously, if you have 4 foot of shelf, you only have 4 foot of 8 foot flood table, and they're not even really 8 feet. You have that, so you only have half unsupported. So I think this is going to be the best version so far. One version we made with single-sized racks is this one. This one's great. This was just a home run, even though I still am only at 16 wide on these. It's tolerable. I had obviously switched to the coated shelving instead of the chrome, and blah 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 blah. 30 inch. I want to say that way, and 16 that way, and everything else is about the same. So the Barina lights, or the Monios, Monios and Barina, I have to keep an eye on filling a reservoir, which I'll get to in a minute. I had been hanging them like this with S-hooks, and I really like it because it's easy to get them up there, but they need a lot of maintenance because, as you can see, like this one fell. They get hit, they bounce around, this comes separated. I managed to mitigate that by overlapping that shade, but that doesn't work over here where I didn't. Eventually I learned that the middle lights don't need the shade. So, like you can look at, one of them, I can't find them now, but some of these, the middle lights have a shade and some don't. But anyway, that's how they hang. I learned in time here, you only need an eye shade, basically it's for you, on the outside. And you don't need anything in your middle lights. If you have a double wide rack here, now on a single rack you'll need a shade on both, all right? And I was hanging them, well the new ones came with a different situation as far as setting up goes. The new ones came with these clips. Can I get a look at it? Came with a different clip, yeah. And they come with a gajillion zip size. So, but they don't come with S hooks anymore. If they even did, I might have bought those. I don't remember stuff. But anyway, they don't have the same clips though, because the other clips had a little thing with like a key ring. Whatever that's called, like a coily keyring thing, and so they just have clips with 2 holes in them. I probably have one. Oh no, I put all these up, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, here we go. So what I'm doing, yeah, we have this clip with 2 holes, and one in the middle for a screw. So what I'm doing is I'm running those through there, all right? And then I just find a spot that I like as far as positioning goes on the rack, and I whip it through, and then I clip the lights in, and you know what? It's better. It's annoying, but it's better, right? Oh, this one I tightened too much. See, I'm gonna have to adjust that. It came clipped because I tightened it up way too much on the zip tie. And these are not like reusable, but anyway, it's much more stable. It's not gonna come apart. Now the only thing I worry about is over time those zip ties are gonna dry rot. But anyway, there's your lights. That's the situation with lights. Man, this thing is taking forever to fill. I wonder if I accidentally turned the hose off. Nope, it's still filling. It just was deceiving. It's deceiving because they're new. So let's move on to the reservoirs. I use Tough, I can show you a label. Tough something or other. I get these at Tractor Supply. They are like 60 bucks now. First time I bought one, they were 30. That was back in 2017. Now they're all the way up to 60. These tough stuff KMT 101s. Definitely buy these locally because shipped they're $1 million. So on this iteration and the other ones, I have one 40-gallon reservoir with my pumps sideways. What I learned over here with this setup is if you push them in, you get a little extra space because I didn't get that one in far enough, but whatever. You get a little extra space because it'll pop out the side for you, and you can get 2. All right, that's fantastic because now I got, with the small racks, when I only have one reservoir of 40 gallons, that's usually enough. Like if I leave for a couple days and have auto watering set up, that's enough to handle it and not run out of water. With the big racks, these things run dry all the time, particularly, as you can see, this one's really low. On my cilantro rack, cilantro just sucks up water. So, and it needs to water more frequently. I really only can get a day's worth of watering out of that. So I'm pretty excited to convert that because, yeah, there you go. Now, here's the downfall. I have a downfall of this discovery because this is what's been happening to me. Those are fantastic, but I went to one Track Supply, I pre-ordered them, and they were different. They were the same brand, but they were like, the rim was like this wide. Otherwise, they were the same. Oh, and the plastic was thinner. That was the other problem. Like, so what they did, I think this company, they went to less plastic, thinner plastic, and the plastic was like half as thick, which really sucks. And then they went a wider support rim, because it's for horses. So they don't have to worry about that. I don't want that on my second story with a reservoir. And the wide rim, I don't think would have fit. So what I did was I drove to another Tractor Supply, and they had like 5. And in this room, in the end, I will need 4. I needed 4 more if I want to double them up. And I just bought all 4, which, you know, everything's $1,000, it feels like. But anyway, so that's what happened with reservoirs. Shit, my hand all the time. Let me flip back. Okay, next, we've covered lights, we've covered reservoirs, we've covered, I mean, they're 2x8 flood tables. We've covered the shelves, we've covered the lights. Then the next thing that came up that is a huge pain in my ass is I absolutely love these Pow Salve or whatever. Yeah, Pow Salve power strips that I found on Amazon, because you get 5 Wi-Fi outlets and 5 non-Wi-Fi and then some USB or whatever. And they hold up pretty good. I've only had 2 die on me, and I have 2 per rack, so 1 or 2 per side. So this single rack has 2. Because you got 5 pumps and you got 5 sets of lights, right? And you want them all to be individualized so you can tailor stuff, which is why I like it. Like if I have an empty rack, I can kill a light. Although I did find that the schedule got a little whacked out, so I started just using the switches that come with these lights. But anyway, so of course, to me, is I go online. I realized last night, shit, I haven't ordered any power strips for these yet, and I also need a reservoir, and I need risers, which I'll get to. And they don't make them anymore. I went to my orders, my past orders, and I clicked on them, and I have to turn this pump off, this hose. I clicked on them, and they took me to what looks like exactly the same thing, but it's not. It's only got 4, which does me no good. I used to have them They had 4. Still use them around. Like this I got makeshift lights going on up on the top here because I keep planning on rebuilding this rack, so I haven't done a lot of improvement to it. This is a 4, which means that in the always on slot, you have to put another, like one of these, so you can have 5. And that just sucks. It's annoying. I want to have the convenience of having the 5, especially for the same money. Like, why not? Anyway, I go and they only make them with 4 now, which sucks. So I'm searching Amazon and I only find one that has 5. It says it has 5. And I don't think it has any always-on slots, and it doesn't have any USB slots, which is, it's not the end of the world, but they come in super handy sometimes. Like if I'm running around the room here and I need to charge the phone and I'm working in one particular area, I can stick that USB slot, thing in there. And it gives you the functionality to add USB fans to your racks if you want to, right? Now you can make that happen some other way, but why have to buy something else when you can just get the one thing? Anyhow, so that was that. I did order, let me go to risers next. Risers in all my trays, because it gets the flood table. See, this one I didn't do it because I was in a hurry and I didn't have them. It gets the flood table, or it gets the trays up off the bottom. And the reason I do that is, as you can see, now this hasn't watered since yesterday, but you get some retention between the tray and the flood table when you water from the bottom. And then you get this tray, instead of having control over how much water, you get this tray sitting there with all that water underneath with retention, and it's just slowly sucking it up. It's not that big of a deal, but it also gives the underneath side of the tray, it gives it some circulation under the tray, which we all want more airflow, right? So what happens here is they sit on 2 of those. These are $4 a piece or something at Home Depot, and you have to cut like 2 inches off the end. And I put 2 in, and then I use caulking, an adhesive caulking, to seal it in, which was my third nice lucky moment of the day. I bought the caulking, it's $8. I started squeezing it and it started hammering out the bottom on me. So I got caulking all over my hand. I can't that shit. so another thing, right? It's always a thing. It's like the third stupid thing today that isn't normal. Like the reservoirs, the power strips, and then the caulking. And I'm like, what the hell's going on, man? I should just go back home and go to bed. Anyhow, there was one more thing, but now I can't remember. Oh, pumps. Let's go to the rest of the watering. So we got the dual reservoirs, one for each side, which changed the way I run my hoses, because obviously I can't pump out of one, and drain into the wrong one or something. Like, I don't know. So they basically, as you can see, they kind of got to be separated. So I went on Amazon and I found this clear hose because I like the idea. Because I get plugs occasionally in my other hoses. Oh, sorry, I was wandering with the camera. And let's look at what I got going on here. See this T? It's a 3/4 inch T that I actually grabbed that when at Home Depot. And sometimes that gets plugged up because that's not very big with the perlite. So what I did was obviously this one has, goes to that T, the drain, drops down a little bit, does it again, drops down, does it again, and everything has a T all the way down to the bottom, and the bottom 2 just drop straight in. Well, on the new one, I upped the size, man, to 1 inch, which I'm pretty excited about. And I need to throw a little hose clamp on that one. But I upgraded it to 1 inch, and I upgraded to clear line, okay, if you want to call it an upgrade. Now, I'm a little worried this will grow some algae at some point, but we'll see. But this way I can tell where the plug is. Sometimes I'm draining from the top on this one, and it ain't coming out the bottom, and I got to figure out where the plug is in one of these 9 friggin' T's. Now, on this one, I'll be able to tell, because there'll be no water after one of the T's, right? So I did that. And then also I bought 3/4 inch for the pumps. I'm doing 3/4 clear hose because it's fun to watch. That's why. But anyway, I did that. And then I'm also trying out a new pump. I know I'm coming up on 15 here, and I do that all the time. Man, I'm trying out a new pump, and I cannot remember the brand because it's like literally branding. There's their marketing. It's not very good. Oh, I think it says inside on the book. Okay. These are an Amazon item, of course. Because where are you going to find a pump locally other than a hydro store, and it's going to be super expensive. High HY Series Eco energy saving bottom submersible pump. I don't even know. Geber blah 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 blah. Anyway, this company, it says LG on it. LG pump. I don't think it's that company. I think that means large. But anyway, it's 1,056 gallons per minute, and they're really strong. Let me show you. Anyway, here's a bunch I got lined up ready to go. I just got done sticking the suction cups on them because actually these ones actually have good suction cups. and putting the 3/4 inch nozzle on and untwisting my things, my cords, and then I take the duct tape and a Sharpie and I label the end of the plug with, I'll show you over there. I always label the end of the plugs with which rack it is because I want to be able to know. I actually just did masking tape on this. This is the E rack and it's rack 6. So it's the top one on the left, all right, because we start at 1 going from that side of the room this way. That way when the friggin' power goes out, I know which rack, which pump cord to use with the extension cord, like I'm doing the test right now. But these things were pretty powerful. I can show you. Let me get my extension cord here. And let me plug one in. Good stuff, this one. All right, this one is E8. All right, I got my little Wi-Fi. This is a broken Wi-Fi outlet, but this still works. So why not, right? Ready? It's kind of cool with the water in the hose. Here we go. It's plenty powerful. It filled this thing even with the risers in 1 minute. So I'm gonna kill it because I don't want to overwater my beets. And then you get to watch this shit go down. It's wild. It's fun, man. Anyway, so that's what I got going on. That's my upgrades with 2 Ds. Double dose. Anyway, I have to find a way to make my lights the ceiling because I have a shitty drop ceiling and I had trouble with those, so I gave up. I will, you know. The other ones I just screwed in, but the tiles are bowed, so it kind of pulled on the next one. Anyhow, that's what I got. I think that's all the changes to the system, this system. The only other thing I got to do is find a better way to level it because I don't like what I've been doing. But yeah, that's it, man. Cool. 17 minutes, way too long for YouTube. If I was making TikTok, they'd kick my ass off. But I don't know what that is, so we're not doing that. Anyway, thanks for watching. John from Dowie Farm. Take it easy.